Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and Seth Rollins is back, but that doesn't mean that the product is improved. No, sir, no, it doesn't mean that at all. He's back. I'm happy about it. It's a little something extra to get excited about, like 0.02% more excited for the product now that Seth Rollins is back. It was good to see him, but I'm not exactly losing my mind. Seeing this coming back, I'm not going to lose my mind. But like I said, just somebody extra. The product is so boring that anybody could fucking come on to this show and it would be more exciting. Just any type of changes at all. We're being lied to that it's a new era, but it's just besides the point. It's time for your Extreme Rules 2016 review. And this show was a real mixed bag, I'll tell you. We started off with the club defeating the Usos in a Texas Tornado match. The problem here is that the club lost so many times on Raw to the Usos. They finally won here. They also hit a really big move. They went for the Boot of Doom. Gallows picks up one of the Usos on his shoulders. Anderson climbs up on the apron, delivers the big boot. One of the Usos goes flying headfirst into the barricade, and all Michael Cole could say is, "Oh, I think that was a variation of the Boot of Doom." Like, not even calling it. Like, I can imagine JR. He's the voice of the WWE. He's supposed to be putting over the moves. He's not putting over the moves. He's like just remarking on them like, "Oh, wow, okay, that was something." It should be like, "Oh my God, he just fucking flew head first. Does he have a concussion? The kid's career, oh my God, but anything like that, we don't get that from Michael Cole. Watching old shows, I saw that Michael Cole wasn't that bad on SmackDown. I almost forgot that the guy wasn't a horrible announcer. He wasn't anything too great either, but he wasn't the worst ever. But man, oh man, he's got to be one of the worst ever. Pair him up with Byron Saxton, and you've got a recipe for fucking terrible announcing. They don't put anything over. I mean, you think the crowds are like bored out of their mind all the time? The announcers, if they're not putting over the action in the ring or the characters of the promos, then no one's going to get over. That's why we have this problem with nobody getting over, because fucking Michael Cole, I don't know if it's McMahon telling him not to say anything, in his earpiece, whatever it is, but, they're failing hard. This is why no one's getting over, because the commentary is piss poor. JR and the King were responsible for getting over like almost the whole entire roster back in the day. They aided in it. Not only good writing and smart booking, but also the simple fact that the announcers actually acted like they fucking cared. I give it like 2.5 stars. Not a bad match. There was frequent action in the match, but like, I didn't even care that the club won. If that was supposed to be the point of the match, that they were supposed to care, that we were all supposed to care because they were finally getting the win here, I didn't really give a shit at this point. Rusev defeated Kalisto. Now, this match was probably the most ass-backwards match I've ever seen in my life. Rusev, they didn't do a lot with him. They stuck him in the League of Nations. And for the past year and a half, the guy's kind of been in fucking limbo. Not like limbo, like how low you could go when talking about the Raw ratings, motherfucker. Which I'm pretty sure they're going to be pretty low for this Raw as well. We're not talking about that. We're talking about staying in limbo, not going anywhere, just remaining stagnant for a long period of time. And that was Rusev's career. The guy was wrestling fucking Cena in top match, not headlining matches, but close to it. And Rusev, well, he should have had a dominating victory here. I get it, Kalisto's the champ, but I mean, look at the size of the guy. Getting dominated by Rusev, there'd be no shame in it. In fact, it would be realistic. It would feed into the psychology, the realism of the match. Instead, they go with an injury angle. Okay, the doctor gets in there and he starts, tending to Kalisto. Rusev had slammed him off the top rope onto the apron, which didn't look too bad. That looked actually pretty painful. Good spot, I suppose. But the ref keeps pushing Rusev away, and I could have sworn he even said at one point to call for the bell, but they didn't. They kept on pushing Rusev off of Kalisto, and then Rusev kept on attacking Kalisto. Then he drags him in the middle of the ring, keeps on attacking him, puts on the accolade. The referee trying to push him away. What he's doing is illegal, right? He puts on the accolade, and that's it. Kalisto taps out, and he's the U.S. champ. Shouldn't he have been disqualified here? I know I said, like, Rusev, it was make or break. He had to win the title here, and nobody was going to respect him. But they gave him the most ass-backwards win I've ever seen. The most unconvincing win I've ever fucking seen. This was kind of like what ruined Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. I get the deal with the blood. They're trying to be more safe with blood and shit like that, I guess, maybe because of diseases and whatever. I don't fucking know. They're trying to be cleaner with it. At the last NXT TakeOver event, they were fighting each other, and the referee kept breaking them apart because Samoa Joe was bleeding, and people complained, and I even said it affected the quality of the match. And this is a worked angle, by the way. Kalisto's not even injured, but they wanted to give him an out, for losing the match, because he was having back problems. But, could it get any dumber than this? They should have disqualified him. I know it's a fake wrestling match, but, we always say, shouldn't it be more real? Shouldn't they act like at least it's real so we could at least take it a little bit seriously? They gave him the least convincing win fucking possible. Well, there you go, Rusev's the U.S. champ. And it's not as convincing as the first time he won it. When he won it from Sheamus, it actually meant something. He beat, not a lot, but you know what I mean. It meant a little bit more than this, at least. I give it about 1.5 stars. The action was not bad, but the finish was just fucking, trash, man. What a bunch of fucking bullshit. The New Day defeated the Vaudevillains. Okay, so Xavier Woods kicks out of a fucking finisher. Now, I've been having massive problems with this as of late, and I've mentioned it before in my reviews and my rants. These motherfuckers are kicking out of finishers like it's a goddamn fucking ROH show. You've got to be fucking kidding me. It's Xavier Woods. It's not Stone Cold. It ain't The Rock. It's not, fucking The Undertaker or Kane or somebody like this, where I could understand they kicked out because they're monster stars and they want to sell it that they're unstoppable, huge stars that are very hard to beat. But this is fucking Xavier Woods. And the Vaudevillains just got on the fucking roster. And Xavier Woods kicks out of their finisher. Not only that, but Kofi Kingston cheats to help New Day win, and they're the fucking faces. Does anything make sense on the show? For fuck's sake. Could anything make even a little bit of fucking sense, for God's sakes? I give this 1 star. What a fucking waste. A little shitty short match with a finish that, where the baby faces, they turned them face for a reason. I get it. It's the shades of gray, but these guys are cheating to win. They're using time machines. I'm not fucking buying it, motherfuckers. Why the hell did they turn them face? I get it, you had people cheering for them, but they are so fucking lame as baby faces. They were great as heels, but as baby faces, they just completely are fucking killing them. You had a fatal 4-way match with Miz defeating Owens, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro. Why does everybody kick out of the Miz's skull-crushing finale? At least with the other finishers, you had people breaking up the pin, so I was fine with that. But this was a really good match. I give it 3 3/4 stars. Non-stop action throughout. A lot of good moves being used. This was a great, fast-paced match. But, my fucking God. Everybody kicks out of the skull-crushing finale, for fuck's sakes. How does that look? That everybody, it has to get each other pulled off because they couldn't kick out of certain moves. But with The Miz, somebody just straight kicks out of his move. like I said, once again, that's fucking bullshit. And this is the fucking champion, by the way. You know, and again, I believe it was, what was it, Cesaro who kicked out of his move? You know, like, not everybody could be so unstoppable. Like I said, stop fucking booking these matches indie style. Who the fuck is booking this shit? Enough with the fucking kicking out of the finishers. We already had that before. You know, and now you're gonna fucking do it again? I give it, like I said, 3 3/4 stars. Really good match. But really, stop with the finisher kickouts, for fuck's sakes. Dean Ambrose defeated Chris Jericho in an asylum match. Guys, let me tell you something. So, these guys pulled down all these weapons off the top. Jericho takes out the straitjacket. You know, oh my God, this was a slow, boring match. Fucking Ambrose jumps off the top rope. And somehow, Michael Cole is like laughing like they always fucking do. This reminded me of when they brought back Elimination Chamber. No reaction. Fucking Michael Cole is laughing his ass off. Fucking Ambrose just jumped off the top of the cage, and why don't I care? Because they made it so uneventful. A man just jumped off the top of a fucking cage, and I don't care. What the fuck is wrong with this product? It's not me, I swear. I guarantee you many other people didn't give a fucking shit about it because it's the way how the match was put together. And it was so boring. Okay, and then Ambrose gets a fucking bucket. You know, we think it's just a plastic bucket, but there's a bag inside of it, and it's thumbtacks. Now, I really don't want to rate down this match because of these guys, you know, going into the tacks and everything like that. And I like the way they built up the drama getting put into the tacks. I almost don't want to rate this because, you know, Jericho was bleeding, and, you know, I really respect the guys for doing that. But this match was fucking boring. I got, guys, no disrespect to these guys taking, you know, the bumps and everything, and Ambrose jumping off the top of the cage. But the way the match was presented, I just got to give it 2 stars. I mean, I'm not going to be a liar here. I'm just going to fucking tell it like it is, like I always fucking do. Like I always promise that I'm going to do. This match was over 20 fucking minutes long. It was almost as long as the world title match, which was way fucking better, by the way. You know, this was long. It was boring. It only really had, like, you know, one spot that the announcers really sold, and that was the fucking thumbtacks. That was the only thing that we were meant to care about. We didn't even fucking care when the man jumped off of a fucking cage. 2 stars. Charlotte defeated Natalya. I did not like this match. How the fuck could a submission match last longer than 10 minutes? How is there any room for psychology here? I mean, a submission match. Remember Benoit and Kurt Angle? Yeah, they have to build it because they need to be working over body parts. They need to be, the focus is on the submission. Man, they really fucking butchered this match. Fucking Dana Brooke coming out dressed as Ric Flair because, you know, Ric Flair was banned from the match, so they made like, you know, Charlotte was going to get distracted because she thought it was Flair, but it's Dana Brooke. She was dressed as Flair. I don't fucking care. Charlotte puts on the figure 8, and the match is over. I give it like a fucking star, guys. I don't mean to be repetitious, repetitive here, you know, redundant, but... Alright, there might be a little weird clip in this video because my camera kind of overheated because it's a little bit hot in this car. But anyway, I'm gonna try to put these 2 videos together if it's possible with some editing. But if not, this will be a separate video. Anyway, so I was talking about Charlotte and Natalya. Disappointing match, like I said. I didn't want to be repetitive, you know, but the match, it gets a star, and I'm being really generous here. Now, the main event for the world title, Roman Reigns defeated AJ Styles in a fucking gorgeous, fucking awesome match. Holy fucking shit. The powerbomb through the table. I know we've seen it before, but in the context of the match, the back body drop through the table. AJ and Roman Reigns are selling. Guys, I gotta be perfectly honest. My Roman Reigns hate is deteriorating a little bit after this match. Roman Reigns was selling and wrestling well. And you know what it is? It's not carrying. It depends on the opponent. Roman Reigns did his part beautifully in this match. Now, the guy can't talk, and I'm not going to be a fan of his just yet. But this was an amazing match. This was more than what I expected out of this match. I liked their match at Payback a lot, but I liked this match a lot more, and that's really saying something. Yeah, you know, so I wasn't crazy once again. Not going to be a hypocrite about the kick out on the steel chair. Just like I didn't mention in the Ambrose Jericho match. Ambrose is kicking out of a code breaker. Okay, you know, but now we had two style clashes. One, and then another one on the chair. Now, one of the Usos distracted AJ Styles just briefly. That shouldn't still constitute a kick out. But guys, this match, this was fucking awesome. This was hardcore. This was fucking great. You know, yeah, Roman Reigns did his part. And if anybody is going to bash him after this match for winning, yeah, he did kick out of the Styles Clash and all that, but still, this match was fucking incredible. So, like I said, you know, same thing with Cena. The guy has a good match. Let's give him credit for it. Not crazy about either one of these guys' characters at the moment. Roman Reigns, they have improved his character a little bit better, being a tweener. And yeah, I love the match. And after the match, I give it 4 and 3/4 stars. That's very hard to say, for me at least. Anyway, Seth Rollins came out at the end to a huge pop. Pedigreed Roman Reigns and held the title over his head. So let's see what happens on Raw tonight. You know, so this great main event, good fatal 4-way. The opener was okay. Everything else was. I'll give this. I'll be generous. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10, thanks to the great main event and fatal 4-way matches. But everything else, it's not really worth your time at all, guys. Anyway, I'll see you for the Raw review, motherfuckers.